I now declare this frickin' idiot convention open! That's alright. R-D-I-R-T. With a frick here and a frick there. Here, frick there, frick everywhere, frick.
Good evening, Valhalla. We started the show a little bit differently. We haven't hit the countdown yet. We will roll into that here shortly. Don't worry, we're going to do an intro. We always do. But first, before we get to that, I have something to address. I received a piece of mail this morning after my show. If you guys missed the morning show, please go back, check it out. We're going to be talking about this a little bit tomorrow, too, because I really want to get Arwen's opinion on it. But before we get started today, I would like to address this pooty poo poo letter I received about how dare you say anything about me pooing on the heads. Loki, how could you possibly say anything about the pooing on the heads? Why would you say something and laugh about some poor girl getting pooed on her head? I wasn't laughing at some poor girl getting pooed on my head. What I was laughing about, which concerns two gentlemen, mind you, is this sick fuck right here that pooed on a girl's head and is not being charged. He's not being charged for trafficking. He's not being charged. He hasn't been investigated yet. Nothing is happening. There is no investigation under the way. People are saying he'll have his day in court. All he's got is a civil trial that he's looking at. And even if he gets convicted to that, they're not going to take him to jail and Harvey Weinstein him because they know exactly what is going to happen. The second gentleman that I was talking about currently sits in the White House and likes to snip little girls' hairs and kiss little boys. This sick fuck walks up to little kids and he's like, oh, and the Secret Service is sitting there going, check point one, make sure Jill knows they're going to have to change the president's diaper. When he comes back, he's blown a load in it again, snipping the girl's little hair. That is what I'm going crazy about. That is what I was talking about this morning, that these two sick fucks are still walking along the street doing whatever they want when they have done some sick-ass repugnant shit. This son of a bitch got in a shower with his daughter, butt-ass naked, with his daughter, and took a shower with his daughter. These are two sick fucking people. I am not laughing that some poor girl that got rammed by dildos and bullshit named after wrestlers. Oh, you want the Macho Man? Ooh, yeah. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the fact that nothing's been done about it. That these people are still getting away with this shit. That nobody's going to do a goddamn thing about it because everybody's going to cover it up. The press is going to cover it up. Their families are going to cover it up. Everybody's going to cover it up because no one wants to do anything about it. That is what I'm pissed off about. That is what I was talking about this morning. And that is why I was freaking hot and losing my shit. It had nothing to do with laughing about a girl getting the poodoo on her head. Oh, you want the Rudy Pooty from The Rock? No, I wasn't laughing about that. I was going nuts because these two bastards are still walking around free doing whatever the hell they wanted. Now, let's get on with the freaking show. Yeah, Dave.
Can you smell what the Rock is pooping?
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Oh, it's unbelievable. It's so fucked up.
It is. It's bad. Bad.
Psychodorf 9 with a $2 super chat. What is up, brother? Psychodorf 9 says, and that's all I've got to say about that. Holy shit. Papa Cotton, not a single person who paid to go to the island.
He has been tearing it up on X with that, and I just, yes. Keep preaching it, brother.
What is up, Papa Cotton? Dave Bob, my brother from another mother, the rooster Dave Bob. Like I said, we're going to talk about that more tomorrow. I really want to get Arwen's opinion on that. I really do. I mean, if you saw an old man walk up to your kid and he was like, oh, and his eyes roll back, and you were just like, legs. What? And yeah.
I would have. No hesitation.
I'm just, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. The lovely Sherry is here. Sherry, na 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 na. What's up, lovely Sherry? Oh my God. Classic Comics. What is up, brother? He's pissed. He's lighting it up.
Good man.
Eldrick, Lord Astor. What is up, my brother? How are you doing? Good to see you. Gary Banjo Sandwich Worthington is here. Oh shit. Good morning or good evening, gentlemen. I almost said morning. Holy shit. I'm hot. I'm hot. I got that letter and I was just like, what in the shit? How dare you laugh at some poor girl getting scatty-addied on? I wasn't laughing at the bitch getting pooed on. I wasn't laughing at her booty duties. I was laughing that these 2 sick sons of bitches are still walking around, and one of them is in the White House. Still,
both of them wear makeup.
Shampoo poo. Ugh.
Right.
God, we've talked about some weird shit on this show, but I don't think we've ever gone that. What the hell?
No.
Loki's a race car. His engine is in the red. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you fucking serious right now? This is what I get sent this morning. Is this? You know, it was like 10 or 11 o'clock and I'm just reading this and I'm like, are you effing serious? Are you effing? Do you really think that's what I was talking about when I was talking about the president of the United States walking up going, and the Secret Service like, blew a load in his shorts. Get the first lady here, stat. We need cleanup crew, stat. Get Jill. Someone contact Jill. Get her here now, stat. God,
back in the day when he was running number 2, literally, the Secret Service agents that I worked with, they would say that they would tell them, oh, take the kids to the mall. Here's a few $100. We're going to go do something else. And they would leave their Social Security protection so they can go off and do some really terrible things. So I've known this guy as a dirtbag for a long time, and it's just ingrained in him. He has to sniff, has to pinch, has to do all kinds of terrible things. He's a dirtbag, and he should have been put away a long time ago with his member cut off and never see the light of day again.
You would think they'd be all over this. They'd be all over this. It'd be 24-hour-a-day news. President snipped another little girl this morning. No wonder we're the laughing stock of the fucking world. We've got an old man that sniffs little kids. Oh, Jesus. No wonder they took everything out of McMahon's office, and it's like a bucket. It's like a room you don't go into. You know, you remember the lady from Poltergeist that is like, this house is clear. But she doesn't go in there. She won't go into that room. She's like, She went into a house with poltergeists, with shit pulling kids through the TV and taking them into other dimensions and killing people and mad clowns and all kinds of shit. And they're like, will you go in there and clean that? Fuck you. God.
Right.
What is up with that? And no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to talk about it. No one wants to say anything about that. They want to talk about the other guy in the room. And I'm like, you know what? As all the bad shit you said about this other guy in the room, it don't amount to shit when you have this guy sniffing on children and snipping kids' hairs and yeah, and you're like, oh my god, what in the hell? I'll pull it up again just to get the point across. Just to get the point across. But no, look at that girl in the bottom left on the flute. She's like, oh my god, make it stop. Make it stop. Please, God, make it stop. Look at the little girl leaning, top left picture. She's like totally uncomfortable,
She
not
knew.
it. And this is what they're like. He can't win. The orange man bad can't win again. We're gonna go with the old man that snips little kids' hairs and does the Rudy Pooty. Oh Jesus, no, nope. Nope. N-O. To borrow from Echo Base. N-O. N-O. No, 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 no. Oh, Adega. Adega, save me. Save me.
No, these fights that you've been through, I went through them long ago. I've seen this crap years and years ago, and I hate to say that. I knew that this was coming because it's nice to see that the rest of the world is catching up to the fire that's been burning in for me for a long time. And I know you've known some of this stuff, and I've been hinting at these things for a while. But these people, there are choice places in hell where they will be headed to. No doubt about it. And there are forces at work in direct opposite to them. I don't talk about it. But there's a reckoning coming, and it won't
God,
be pretty.
I hope so.
It won't be pretty, but it is coming. Hold on to your hats, have your food storage, have your emergency gear, have your freedom seeds. Dave Bob knows what those are. And yeah, reckoning's coming. And I feel sorry for a lot of places, the poor Europeans where they have less ability to do what we can here in America when things start. We've been invaded. All these camps of all these illegals, they put them in there. It's not to house illegals. It's housing an invading army. People don't realize that, but they are young men that are being armed and prepared to take us from the inside. So again, have your freedom seeds. And it's all because the head sniffers and the child mutilators and the people who've been to an island that don't want to be arrested are throwing fits because they know that the reckoning is coming. And this is one of their last gasps at trying to avert being at the end of a rope.
To me, the biggest sin is nobody saying anything about any of this shit. It's the media
silence,
just glossing over all this shit that's going on. Why haven't these people been arrested yet?
There was a reason why in the days of the Crooked Crosses, when they did the Nuremberg trials, that the media also got the rope. They took the people who deliberately did not tell the truth, who hid the truth, who did propaganda, and put them with the people who did the gas chambers and everything else, because, like you were saying, they are co-conspirators. And when the co-conspiracy involves the lives of millions of people, forced experimentation on your citizenry, and all kinds of other horrific things, the underground dungeons, the tortures, the things that I have hinted at over and over again, the ritualistic cannibalism, all of that stuff that is going on, their ropes.
You're talking about Joseph Goebbels and his people that controlled the propaganda.
But it was their regular news media people that went along with it. They were the ones that did the broadcast on the radio, that did the print. They got it just like Goebbels. We're talking the ones who did the beat reporting, who lied, just like you turn on MSM or CNN. The people back in that day got the short end of justice, and it came quick.
And you're damned if you talk about it. I don't know what'll happen tonight. We brought up some weird shit right off the bat. We talked some massive smack.
Yeah, I had some better
easily,
stuff to talk about.
YouTube could easily. No, we're going to talk about that. We are, because this.
You got me fired up, though.
This is my little opening shot at all of this. They could easily take us down tonight. They could take us down. They could turn the channel off. They could find me. They can do whatever. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut, and I'm not going to stay silent. We have been warned time and time again that the overlords here and the overlords at other places are going to be going after anyone that speaks up against their little lefty circle jerk. That they're going to be going after anyone that they say speak propaganda. You saw it. You saw the pictures. You saw the pictures for yourself. It's not propaganda. That sick son of a bitch walks up to little kids and is like, and you're like, what in the fuck is wrong with this guy? How can you? And it's all because they've got to have someone in there that will do anything they say. And with him and the dumbass next to him, that's like, how many of y'all rode the yellow school bus when y'all were growing up? And I'm like, oh my God, you dumb human being. How did you get elected as a vice president of the United States? Raise your hand. How many of y'all rode a yellow school bus when y'all were growing up? And I'm like, everybody rode a yellow school bus.
Nah, I walked to school uphill both ways, but that's okay. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, if you rode a school bus, you rode a damn yellow school bus.
Yep.
So if you were on the bus, you rode a yellow bus. There wasn't any other colors, unless your ass was in prison and that's where you finished out high school. Then you rode in a gray bus or you rode in a black bus. Either one. Take your pick. That's the only way you didn't ride in a yellow school bus when you were growing up, is because you were in prison. So when she's like, how many of y'all rode? I'm like, oh my God. Even the short buses are yellow. Bear Whiskers. Even the short buses are yellow. She was on the short bus.
I pulled up Lord Thoth because he's one who knows it. He doesn't talk about it. He's a good man, but he's been on the front lines. He knows it.
We all live in a yellow submarine, the yellow submarine. I'd rather live in a damn yellow submarine than live in this shit. God help me. We need help. We need help. You know what? Loki doesn't do politics. But you know what? I'm sick and tired of this shit. The second I bring something up, excuse me, but how dare you? The other person is so much batter. What? Because he nailed a porn star? How many of y'all out there would love to nail a porn star? I personally wouldn't bang Stormy Daniels, but you know what? Trump did. So what? So what? He's not walking up to little kids sniffing their hair. He's not walking up to little boys saying, give me a kiss on your lips. He's not walking up going, oh, with his eyes rolling back in his head, and Secret Service going, alert the first lady, alert the first lady. Big J has took a blow in the diaper again. He's blown his diaper, ladies and gentlemen. Get the cleanup crew here now. You don't see that guy doing that. I'm sorry, but you can blame that other guy for whatever you want to. He's not the one sniffing kids. So if you want to write me a letter and be like, Loki, how dare you, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God, really? Have you not watched this show over the last 4 years? Have you not listened to me rant and rave about shit for the last 4 years? I wasn't laughing because some poor 20-year-old girl got pooed on in some billionaire's office. I'm laughing that we're in this world where it just doesn't fucking matter anymore.
It's not about politics. It's about decency. And the indecent are pushing, and they've pushed too far.
That's where I am. That's why I'm losing my shit. That's why I come on here. I'm like, mailbag time. I warned Adega. I was like, I don't know if you want to be on here when I do this.
I'm good. I'm good.
Back. I'm like, okay.
I have a few battles of my own coming up, so no, I'm good.
Yeah. Hashtag blame Loki. Hashtag blame Loki. We don't know what happened to Loki. Yep. Because he's calling it like he sees it, and he's calling it out for what it is. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop until all this bullshit is over. We know the nasty, disgusting shit that happens at Disney. We know what those people do. We know what they've done. They can try and hide it. They can try and call it the happiest place on earth with kids crying all around them. You know what it reminds me of? Anybody here? We talk about this on Daryl the Derelict's channel. We talked about this over and over again. It is The Dark Tower, the Gunslinger series by Stephen King. I'm not a huge Stephen King fan, but I love that series. There is a train that's supposed to be the happiest train on earth. You ride on the train, and it's called Blaine the Mono, and you're supposed to be the happiest. He provides love and joy for all the little kitties that get on his train. But when you see a picture of that motherfucker, he looks like the most demented train, evil train you've ever seen, and all the kids riding on the train are crying. But it's supposed to be like a children's story and the happiest train you could ever ride on. But all the kids are crying and weeping and screaming like they're terrified. Blame the mono. That is what Disney is. Disney is epping Blame the Mono.
It's the witch in the forest with Hansel and Gretel. All the fun stuff just to be eaten alive.
That is where we are at. And that is what I'm absolutely positively sick of. And that's why I can't keep my mouth shut. I've lost it. I've lost the ability to remain just, you know what? I don't want to get involved in it. I'm not going to get involved in it. I'm going to stay out of it. I don't want to talk politics. I don't want to talk about these political douchebags. But you know what? When it gets to the point where it's business billion-dollar CEOs, I can't even say it, scatting on 20-year-old women's heads and presidents of the biggest nation on earth, smelling little kids and getting off on it. I just can't. I can't keep my fucking mouth shut anymore. I can't. I don't care what the orange son of a bitch did. It's better than what we got now. Period. If you don't like it, we differ in opinion. What do you got for us tonight, Adega?
It's nothing like what you were talking about. One of them is just kind of prep for something in the future. You guys will know. Loki will understand this.
Oh my God, Sherry. Oh my God. Holy shit, I almost spit my tea out. Oh my God. Oh.
We have some very intelligent and witty people here. She says the pretty girls aren't funny.
Oh my God. Memes, my bar for politics is this person willing to have skin in the game? Reasons to legalize dueling. I did that right there. That's what we used to do.
Yeah.
That scene in Highlander that they cut out, that they put back in, where they're, he kills McLeod over and over and over again. And then finally, like, McLeod's like, wait, sir, I beseech you. I'm sorry for calling your wife a bloated warthog. And I bid you good day. And he ends up like pulling out a gun and shooting his barman or whatever the hell he was, his assistant instead, because he's so aggravated that he couldn't kill McLeod. Yeah, give us back dueling, memes. Give us back dueling. It'll be a lot better than this. You disagree with me that we should be helping the American people instead of giving all our money to all these other people that are legally coming in the country? Yes, I think shit on Americans and hooray for illegals. I challenge you, sir, to a duel. Slap, out comes the glove right across the face, and they step aside right there in chambers, and they duel to the death. Much better idea than what they do now, which is circle jerk each other.
Yep.
Anyway, Adega, back to you. Sorry. Sherry threw me off.
Oh no, I was just thinking. I got something. I have two things tonight. And second one, I think memes will appreciate. Where the first one is a little bit of a history lesson. It's something probably a lot of you would know. I'll explain this in just a second. Go ahead and leave the image up, but
Okay.
you can, yeah, go ahead and leave it up. There was a in front of Congress years ago, first lieutenant, he's now a retired captain, Robert Salas, first reported something that had happened in 1967. It was and I'm sure a lot of you know about this. They had a UFO flyby on the missile silos for the Minutemen ones, and they all shut down. At the same time in Russia, they had a similar thing. Well, let's fast forward to several other people. This is 1990, and this has been reported by a few people. A similar thing happened with the newer silos. They were shut down. Reports are that the nuclear cores within the missiles all became inert and all the electronics failed. The entire nuclear arsenal of both big countries was put to rest in one shot. Well, the reason why this is up here is that same day, this appeared 1,000 feet across. Is it 1,000 feet? No, I think it might be 1,000 yards. In Oregon, in 1990, this suddenly appeared. Perfect angles, and it is the intergalactic knowledge symbol from a mandala of ancient Hindu. And no one knows where it came from, why it was there, how it showed up. The lines have been darkened a little bit so you could see what it was. But just a little history lesson that there are forces out there greater than you know that are at work. And yeah, eventually this I'll have this all tied in for you. But that was there. Second story. This is a little bit more interesting, I think. I don't know if you've ever seen this before, memes or any of the other. This little beauty, let me get the name for it. It is called the Trenta, made by a company called Helion. And what it does is it actually manufactures deuterium. But also in the process, this thing also manufactures helium-3 and helium-4 and a tremendous amount of power with absolutely no harmful radiation. You are looking at the 6th version of a Helion nuclear fusion reactor. Ah, he's seen it. You know all about this. Yep. Yeah, that's why the next one, I can't remember. Each phase of this reactor, they're improving it. This is basically a diagram of what would be going on inside. What they have done is they take plasma and magnetically contain it in this field on either end of those tubes of the hourglass, and they shoot it at 300 miles per second, 300 kilometers per second. I think it's kilometers per second, to where it comes in the middle, compress it magnetically so that plasma is not hitting the sides to maintain the heat coefficient. And lo and behold, you're getting excess energy and creating its own fuel for future use. Yes, they pulse it, and they're trying to get it to where they can do many, many pulses per second. The next generation should be online this year. They had to increase the chamber. You see where the little, I can't tell, I'm colorblind. I think it's pink plasma in the center is being set off. The chamber on the inside was creating more than that chamber could handle. It was more efficient than they anticipated. There you can see them on either end, and those two plasma rings will combine in the center. It goes really, really, really quick with a super amount of heat, hot enough to create these atoms in such an excited rate that they form new molecules and release a ton of energy. So the better they get at that, the sooner they get at it. We're talking a limitless supply of energy, almost limitless. but it's extremely efficient, far better than what the Europeans are doing. This is made in America. So the future of energy has many different sources. This is just one, and it is a beautiful thing. So you've seen the. If you guys want to see the whole video, it's about I think it's 40 minutes long, and it's on a channel called Real Engineering. The guy does some really good stuff. He's a cool one to follow if you are into this type of thing. But just to let you know that creativity, ingenuity, engineering is not dead. Here we have some really advanced stuff that's going on. They're even creating new, I don't know if you guys know what, memes would, capacitors. This thing uses so much energy that they have to pre-store it. Think of, I guess the easiest way to compare it is like you got a fire and you have a bucket brigade. You guys have probably heard of this, where they have a whole row of people. Each one has a bucket and dump water in and pass it on all the way until you get thrown on the fire. Well, a capacitor is basically that bucket. 1 second it's full, 1 second it's empty. It's full, it's empty. Those buckets or those capacitors hold energy and release it. And the more efficient and the more capacity they have, the better chance you have of creating something wonderful. And the ones that are on this, they're having to re-engineer to make them even more efficient and more quicker and contain a little bit more energy. I guess some of the old ones from the 80s were really, really good. And the newer ones just can't perform
it's funny you mentioned
the same way. Go ahead.
I said it's funny you mentioned that. Let me bring up something. This has been going on since, 2007, 2008, 2009. This has been going on for almost 20 years. And we are doing stupid shit like this. They cannot build new helium reactors. What we need to build and have liquid helium. Okay. You know that stuff you put in balloons? Well, guess what? It comes from liquid helium. We can't make more of that because we are dumb. Because of this entire global warming bullshit, they can't build new ways to make it and pull it out of the ground. Okay? There are giant setups like this that can pull it out of the air itself. They are not allowed to make those anymore, to construct those because of global warming. So guess who the top leader in helium in the world is, because they still make it? Russia. And what did we just do? We just sold our backup stockpiles of helium.
Yep.
And why
the
everybody's
same guys that are
about
sniffing the hair of little children and going to strange islands are the ones that are putting handcuffs on our industry, our schools, our engineers, instead of advancing things, because we have the brain power. It just handcuff them.
MRI machines. Can't power an MRI machine without liquid helium. How do you know that, Loki? Because I used to deliver all of this shit. That was my job. I worked in the industry for 7 effing years. I worked in the industry. I delivered liquid oxygen. I delivered liquid helium. I delivered helium. I was not allowed to deliver helium to game stores and pizza places like CC's to do balloons. I was not allowed to do that. Why? Because we were told if we get caught, we're fined up to $2,000 for selling to a little place like that. Only medical supplies. Get it? We are limited to only medical supplies. This was in 2007. This was in 2008. This was in 2009. This was in 2010. It's only gotten worse because they're not allowed to make new facilities to pull helium out of the ground and helium out of the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're all screwed. I'm going to throw this. I'm going to throw this article in here. I just thought it was interesting that Adega brings up helium, and we're getting our ass kicked and our ass handed to us because we can't make new places like this. I used to deliver to places like this, deliver to places like Devon Industries in Dallas. I used to deliver to people that made water towers that needed all sorts of cool shit like this.
Helium's easy to make, but they're insisting on shutting it down just to handicap us. I had mentioned years ago, and I don't know who was here to hear about this. One of my patients when I worked in Ann Arbor, uh, and I can talk about it now. It's been years, so I'm past time. I won't name names. I won't name the company, but the company basically worked on micro engineering, where they did nanotech. Their biggest thing was to accelerate light in fiber optics so that it would continue. If you had long runs of fiber optics, the light would not diminish. It would have these little stations where it would keep the light high intensity so that you wouldn't have signal degradation over certain distances. And they had these little, I saw them under micron microscopes, were little teeny 1 atom gears, 2 atom gears, where they would spin individual photons. It was just amazing at how this stuff worked. Well, one of the things that the company had done, and for those of you who've heard this story before, I apologize, but it does illustrate how we're being handicapped. One of the things that they had started working with was a technology that was based on terahertz. And they had devices that could basically bounce off mirrors and penetrate through all kinds of different things to determine whatever type of chemical they wanted, whatever cohesion they could tell. Like if you had someone with, and they had them, where they were basically the size of a radar detector that the cops use, where you can point from any given distance at somebody and determine whether or not they had biochemical or explosive material on them. And they wanted to use those in airports. One of the big things that they also wanted to use them for was, at the time, the space shuttle had just gone and exploded, and they were starting to have issues. They were restarting the program. And the way they used to check the tiles was they'd have this thumping machine that would thump on every individual tile on the base of the ship and some of the ones on the edges to make sure that they were glued in place, everything was there. But in the process, it would shake them a little bit, and they were always worried about them shaking loose. Well, with this terahertz technology, they never had to touch the shuttle. They could just scan it with these things, and it would determine how sound all of the adhesions were, and they could get going. The problem was solved. The problems at the airports was solved. But lo and behold, when 9/11 hit, there was an X-ray company that contributed a tremendous amount of money to certain individuals, both in Democrat and Republican parties. George Bush, Obama, they both got nice checks from these companies that said, we have these cool little X-ray machines, but don't call them X-ray machines, that we could put in airports, and everyone will stand. You can see them naked. And you could say, oh, this is for your security. Instead of having one guy out in a room with a bunch of mirrors, having this little gun and just scanning people all day, doesn't even have to move. And you would know before someone even came into the airport that these things were there or weren't there. None of this was needed. But it made some people a lot of money. And it also kept the space shuttle from going up into space again. People deliberately handicapping the people from advanced technologies, more efficient technologies, cheaper energy, or free energy. That's just how it is. Evil people that like to sniff kids and go onto islands and do terrible things, or go underground and do some even worse things. So there you go.
Eldrick Lord Haster, who's been a member for 36 months, says, handicap bull. They drilled us hard with the oil drill.
Well.
Thank you so much. Stupid 50 character limit. Thank you so much for the 36 months, brother. Seriously. People like you keep the lights on in Valhalla. The members keep the lights on here month after month, day after day. They let us continue to do this. Thank you. You guys are so great. I appreciate it so much. He snips kids because he can smell the stem cells. Ugh. Ah! Oh, Adega. Yeah, are you guesting anywhere? You got anything coming up? Are you fired up for anything?
I got invited to talk paranormal stuff. on Zach's channel coming up, and we'll see how that goes. If I'm feeling good, which I need to talk with you on the sly, because some things kind of went. I don't want to talk about it publicly, but some things went really good. So I'll chat with you about it. But next Wednesday on What's Good, I think Zach's is going to be doing a paranormal show. He invited me for this week, but he got sick and had to cancel. So hopefully I'll be on next week. And it might be entertaining. We'll see how it goes. He always has a good show, but we'll see what it brings. I think Sparking's supposed to be there too. Good old Josh. Yeah, he's supposed to be there as well. So making friends wherever I go.
Heck yeah, brother. I can't wait.
There is something.
All right, hit us.
This is I really shouldn't be showing you this. I'm going to show it to you anyway. It's in the works, because this is the reason why Echoes of Nor hasn't been released yet. I'm waiting on some artwork. And you the other day had a couple of times had really pushed Vinny.
Yeah.
Vinny art.
Yeah.
Vinny Tartamelli. He's fantastic. And
Absolutely.
he is going to be doing some of the art, because each one of my books has 1 or 2 pieces of art in it. And what I sent to you on X is a mock-up early version. And you know what? If he won't be upset, he's a good guy. You know how he is. He's doing this.
Holy shit.
What he is drawing there is, because in my universe, it's 1,000 years in the future, and things do not work the same in the evolution universe as they do now. Where you see the little circle on the side, that's magnetically held. It's not contained. That is a mock-up, and it's not the finished product by any means. This was just something he did in like 2 seconds. He's that good of an artist. That is what I call a shadow caster. It's basically a ship that is sent out to do invisible recon and to hide other ships in space. They're not offensive at all, but think of it as just a mobile shadow. And when this artwork is done, and again, this may not be exact, it's going to change a little bit, but yeah, I'm excited. When this is done, I'll slap it in the book, and I think it's going to hit Amazon and paperback first. Then we'll get it for the hardcover in Barnes and Noble. So there you go, something a little early.
As soon as that drops, we're ordering it. So you got to tell me when it drops. I'll be one of the first people that buy it from you. You know I will. I always do.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I
We've
really
got
do.
them all. We got multiple copies of them all. In fact, we've given copies away to people for Christmas gifts and giveaways and all kinds of stuff. So,
and what do the people tell you after they read them? Honest.
Mr. CCDB said he really enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I have not talked to my sister-in-law yet, so I don't know. I've not gotten a chance to talk to her about it. This is one of the Christmas presents.
I had one person, I think you guys heard about it before. I had one person who really gave a horrible review of my stuff on Barnes and Noble. And the review was, he was obviously a Christian of one form or another and saw the title Evolution and assumed my book was about actual Darwinian evolution, a set of, evolution of someone's opinion, spirit of government, those type of things. So he ripped on about how physical or earthly evolution wasn't real and it was all based on God, and just, it was funnier than heck. And I just I could tell he didn't read the book.
Monkey Jeebus, who is that? I don't know who that is.
That's McMahon. Out doing his thing in his younger days. Yeah, he had a bunch of girls over that day.
Oh my God. Monkey Jeebus. Damn.
Poo Stomper.
Oh, that's funny. Thank you, Monkey Jeebus. Thank you, brother. Dave Bob says use it or lose it. 40-month member. He has been a member of Loki's Frost Giants. Thank you so very much. Dave Bob, thank you, my friend, so very much for your faith and trust and love of the morning shows and the late shows. You guys make this place what it is. So thank you. We're gonna get out of here. I gotta talk to Arwen tomorrow about this shit. So if you're like, oh my God, Loki, why are you still talking about? Oh, because I've got to get her opinion on that.
That
I gotta
fire's
be
still
like,
burning.
Arwen, if some 80-year-old fuck came up to your kid and was like, oh, and looked like he just blew one off in his diaper, would you be okay with that? So we're gonna talk to her tomorrow. We're gonna talk to Dave Bob, see what Dave Bob has to say about it. Vince Mudhumper. Oh, God help me. The head poopers. Yeah, we'll talk about the head pooper too. So, and we'll go over that. We'll go over that letter for anybody that missed it. But guys, hopefully we'll be back next week. If not, we'll take a break and we'll come back. I know that on the 13th that night, I will not. I'm gonna do Talk Hard, but that's it that Tuesday, because we're gonna go see Dune in IMAX again.
Yeah. Rub it in.
We're gonna go.
I'm gonna send you some hate mail myself.
Adega, I sent pictures of it to Adega, Dune IMAX. 6:45 Tuesday the 13th. Because I'm so excited. We're gonna see the 15-minute. I'm gonna see that again. Eris is gonna see it. I'm excited about that again because I want to pick over every detail about the little preview clip they've given us. I can't wait, man. 25th on a Sunday.
I'll be holding my Chris knife the whole time.
So on the 25th, I go to IMAX to see Dune 2. I get to see it early. It comes out on March 1st, but I get to see it on the 25th. So I'm super excited about that. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about the pooper, Rudy Pooty Pooper tomorrow, and we're gonna talk about the hair snipper tomorrow because I gotta get Arwen and Dave Bob's opinion on that. But until then, guys, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak Brendanner, and we'll see you the next time on 7 Kinds of Mischief with the Mad Doctor, Adega Outlaw.
See ya.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.